Hey everybody, watch this review here with a look at Black Manta from the Wave 2 of the DC Universe Classic series, also known as the Gorilla Grodd Collect and Connect series. Yep, Collect and Connect, not Build-A-Figure. Although I'll mark it as both when I do review this guy, just because nobody knows what a CAC is, but I mean, that's also just like a terrible abbreviation, CAC. I mean, who thinks of this stuff? I mean, yeah, we can't look like Marvel Legend knockoffs, can we? But at the same time, we can put a little effort into this. But as for Black Manta, I mean, as you can see, he takes the generic-looking sculpt from a half-dozen other things, then just attaches a head and gives him some weapons, and ta-da, you have a generic-looking figure. But Black Manta, in general, is a kind of generic-looking character, so they can get away with it. I probably wouldn't have picked him up if not for the, I just want to collect some of the Legion of Doom guys. So, people not familiar with the character, he's appeared in such games as Aquaman Battle for Atlantis. Yeah, I'm going there. I am totally going there. It's often thought of as one of the worst comic book-related games of all time. A dubious distinction that it, of course, shares with Superman 64, which, was terrible, but I mean, I enjoyed the flight mode and the free, I think it was like the trial, or just, we're just allowed to just fly around the city and just do stuff, which was actually pretty cool. But I'm going to open him up in a second, and then we're going to take a look. By the way, in case anybody cares, the other figures from the wave are the Harley Quinn, which I kind of want, the Aquaman, which I don't care about at all. I much preferred the Marvel counterpart Namor, or the Submariner, Firestorm, yeah, and Superman, the blue Superman. There's also a red variant at Target. But I don't know a ton about the characters, so I'll just quickly read the description here, the biography. Black Manta engages in undersea crime and attempt to conquer the world beneath the waves. However, Aquaman thwarts Black Manta at every turn, a conflict that's led Black Manta's murder of Aquaman's infant son. Ooh. Tiring of his constant defeats, Black Manta sold his soul to the demon Neron for greater power and is thus transformed into a true denizen of the deep. Of course, I think the whole Neron saga ended like ages ago, so he may or may not still have that power. But, it comes with a leg, and this other weapon here, which I'll attach later. My only exposure with the character comes from, well, I guess, a little bit from the Justice League series, the cartoons, but mostly from the old Super Friends cartoon. You know, where all the characters would just have absolutely hilarious voices and so forth. Kind of cool series beyond that. It was definitely a really fun cartoon now. Something that pisses me off, it looks like the leg's kind of bent out of place right out of the box, but I mean, that might just be part of the sculpt, but it looks kind of extreme because the other leg doesn't have that bend. But you know, it's a really noticeable bend. Just do a close-up of the face here. I mean, I think it's a good likeness. I'm not sure whether people may or may not think. But, ooh. Turn that off. I mean, like you said, I'm not terribly impressed with this figure, but if you like the character it represents, you're bound to pick up the figure anyway. In terms of articulation, it's a pain in the ass to get the weapon in and out of the hand. I mean, it took me a while to just bend the this hand enough. I mean, this one feels a lot lighter. It feels loose like it probably should be, but it's a consideration. All the articulation is pretty standard for the Classics line. You have the wrist here, you have a single jointed elbow, you have a bicep, arm/shoulder. Head moves, but not a tremendous amount. It's also impeded by these wires here, kind of like Gorilla Grodd's wires, actually. So it's kind of weird that they put both in the same set, but whatever. Ab/diaphragm joint. Has a pretty good range of motion. Then, of course, standard leg. As I've mentioned previously, I'm actually pretty fond of it because it maintains the old look of the figures, and then it adds some articulation onto it, although on the other hand I'm not really fond of just sticking to the past in terms of design. So I like my figures to have like less visible articulation. But thigh twists, knee, single joint. Nothing on the calf, but the ankle / foot will have a little action there. Bought him, I think I paid about between 5 and 7. I got him and 2 other figures, a Wonder Woman and a Batman. It's just a bundle of the shipping. I'm trying to remember where I bought it. It was one of the eBay auction, but so I'm not sure if that's why this might be off. Like, I may have gotten like a second, but you also notice the paint here. I mean, the arms here are really glossy, but the shoulder's not glossy at all. I don't know why that is. I guess you can't see it as much on the camera, but it's like 2 or 3 scales of gloss between this, the actual bicep muscle here, and then when you get up to the shoulder. And you can actually see, maybe it's just a paint error, because it looks like it's sort of lathered on or lathed on right here, because there's like a, probably won't be able to see it, but there's like a big patch of the shiny stuff down there, and then it's not so much up there. All in all, it actually doesn't look half as bad as I thought he looked in package, and he is a decent addition to the whole Legion of Doom. But, yeah. Until next time. Oh, I guess I should probably give him a rating or something. And a quick scale comparison. Where's my ruler? Height, about 6.5 inches. Cords will go up to about 7 inches. I don't have any DC figures down here. Huh. But next to Gorilla Grodd kind of towers over him a bit. Let me just bring out my all-purpose Spider-Man. And I think my superpowers is Superman. But yeah, shorter. And this guy who's basically your standard about 6-inch figure. If I was to rate him, I'd probably give him, 5 is the absolute medium, so probably about 6.5. I mean, it's not really an impressive sculpt or anything, it's just a slightly touched up generic one. But the head sculpt's pretty hot, even though it's not a ton you can do with it. The weapons look kind of cheesy just because they don't look sculpted very well. But, yeah.